Back. You're with us here on Taking Stock. You heard the fundamentals with Pramod Gubbi. Let's map technicals now with Rohit Srivastava of India Charts. Rohit, thanks very much for joining us. You've been constructive, bullish for many weeks now, and it's played out. It's sort of the conviction has been rewarded. We got a bit of a hiccup. Lots of people were shaken out, but you steadfastly said, well, stay long. The market will turn around soon. It has 4.5% this week. You are now saying 12,500 by Diwali. Rohit, just explain that for us.
So the way we look at the market, and I think one of the important confirmations that we've gotten over the last week is two consecutive breakouts. One is, of course, from the falling trend itself that we saw from 11,794. And the second one is taking that high out itself. So what that confirms is that we are in what I'm calling the fifth wave of this advance that started all the way back in March. So from that bottom, we've been trying to map this entire structure as what we call a five-wave impulsive move. And when you start that fifth wave, we do some mathematical calculations. And also, if we simply draw a rising channel for the entire rise now, taking the highs and then the lows together, both of these would point to somewhere between 12,500 and 12,600. So that gives us an objective as to where we can reach. And in terms of time, what I simply did is look at the time that the first wave took, which is the bottom from March to the top we saw at the end of April, was approximately 6 weeks. So if we just add up 6 weeks from the starting point of this move, we just completed 2 weeks positive. So let me add 4 more weeks to where we are today, and that would somewhere put us in the first week of November, very much close to even where the US elections are. So that's where you can actually expect this euphoria maybe to peter out, maybe peak. So Diwali is a good time, plus or minus a couple of days, where we think that the fifth wave of this move can actually complete. So that gives us some upside and gives us some time as well to play it.
Okay, so what about, just coming back to the here and the now, Rohit, if you had to give us some strategies on how to approach this market as we head into the next 1 to 2 weeks, what would they be? What would your targets look like? And any interesting themes? I mean, at the end of the day, it all boils down to money-making strategies. So any interesting themes or stocks that you're looking at?
So definitely the crybabies, which is your banking sector, has started to move and become the biggest contributor. And even when we got the correction in September, it was the tech sector which was leading. So it's almost beginning to look like this rally is all about banking and IT. But my sense is that that's not how these moves usually end. We've actually seen no participation from the mid and small cap indices. 7 to 8 days consecutive, I think they've done nothing. They've just been flat, plus or minus, not even 0.5% on certain days. And so my sense is that part of the market is going to participate as we, continue to move higher. You cannot end this rally without participation from the broad market and getting that euphoria feeling that everything's really heading up. So right now it's just been sectoral. I think it's going to spread, and which is what you need to be prepared for. I think a large part of the move so far has been large cap and index based. And as you get closer to from here, say, for example, this week we've done 400, 500 points, right? So we're going to do, I'm talking about 12,500, which is another 500-600 points. Now, you're not going to do it at the same pace. Otherwise, you'd be there in a week. So somewhere you're going to see this slowing down in the index movement. And as that happens, I think money moves out of the winners of this period into a lot of the other stocks. And that's how the momentum will spread to the rest of the market. So you need to go back and look at which were the stocks or sectors that were performing in the prior period, and that takes us back to even auto stocks, takes us back to metal stocks that were also performing in the prior period, and even the pharma sector. But the pharma sector, behaves with a lead lag, which means that in September, when the market was correcting, the pharma picked up. Similarly, in March, it was the first one to move, and then for 1 or 2 months, it actually did not move. So what I would do is keep an eye on pharma, but not be, and I'm talking purely from a trade perspective. 1 to 2 years, of course, pharma is a good bet because it's on a longer term bull run. But when you're asset allocating, maybe for the next couple of weeks, I would want to have a higher weightage in mid caps. I would want to go into the ones which have been flat, like I said, autos, metals. Banking can still be there, but if you're heavy on banking, you'd probably want to cut back a bit, because every time the market halts or pauses, we saw this in July and August, banking stocks tend to give up a bit. So you've had a strong move in banking. Somewhere along the way, you would want to pull back on that and diversify into the other sectors, and definitely look at mid caps picking up steam, because that will happen. All of a sudden, you'll start seeing the stock movements, and then once that happens, it will probably not stop for a week or two. So keep an eye on the broad market to really complete this move.
All right, so there is more left. The rally will not end before the broader markets participating. So watch out for the rally to broaden, mid caps to start to participate, autos, metals, and continuation in banking in some way. That's Rohit's call for the coming week. Thanks.